Coming up next, how the Bellefonte Area School Board plans to change their mascot and what that will cost and people's reactions.
It's just a mascot. It doesn't change the pride of the school.
Plus, safety improvements on a Bellefonte street should help reduce car crashes in that area.
And how a student main garden will help students with food insecurities on campus. The Center County Report starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Lauren Starker.
And I'm Riley Curry. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. The Bellefonte Area School District may have to shell out big bucks to rebrand its logo and image after the controversial decision to change the Red Raiders' name and image. Reporter Andy Smith has more.
The Bellefonte School Board voted in the spring to drop red from the school's Red Raiders moniker. Now, residents have a better idea of what that change will cost. Ken Bean, the district's Director of Fiscal Affairs, says the cost of the plan isn't finalized.
Developed a rebranding committee, and they're working on coming up with new, logo or nickname or whatever for the school district.
As of now, the school board has not yet announced what will take the place of the Red Raider mascot. But the hope is that by this time next year, all images containing the logo will be removed from the school, including this rock, which sits outside the front entrance and greets visitors.
The estimated cost to taxpayers is more than $100,000. Having to replace the main and auxiliary gym floors to remove the Red Raiders logo makes up the bulk of that cost.
What's being done, i.e. the floors, we have to have a company come in, take those all the way down, take out the logo, put a new logo in.
Reaction to the change continues to be a hot topic on social media, where two rival Facebook groups have popped up. We spoke with more than 15 people in Bellefonte who emphatically opposed not just the cost, but also the change to the mascot. They all declined to speak on camera. Store owner Mitch Bradley grew up in Bellefonte. Both he and his children went to the high school.
It's just a mascot. It doesn't change the pride of the school.
My opinion is most of the people are against it. But again, I would probably, the people that are for it, I might not necessarily hear directly from.
In Bellefonte, I'm Andy Smith for the Center County Report.
The proposed spending estimate will be voted on for next year's fiscal budget.
Now an update on the investigation into what shut down a high school homecoming dance last weekend. A new letter to State College high school families says police are still looking into the incidents and the school is reviewing its procedures on how it handled the event. The school ended the dance early after what it called serious incidents that included allegations of indecent exposure and theft. In the letter, the principal apologized to the parents for not letting them know the dance ended early. The school also says reports of a fight at the dance are not true and no one was injured. The school will now look into how future dances and events will be handled. State College police are not commenting on their investigation. The State College Area School District is partnering with nonprofit organization Sinclair to open a full-day free preschool in the area. Reporter Mike Hopp has more on what it means for local families.
The State College School Board has given the green light for nonprofit Sinclair to use the Fairmont building on Fraser Street to house a preschool program. School Board Vice President Amy Bader says that's good news for families looking for affordable child care options.
By it being a free preschool, there may be people who won't be able to send their kids to preschool that then will have that opportunity.
And getting more kids an opportunity to attend preschool can be crucial for their growth, according to mother of 2 young children, Becky Freidenberg.
I think preschool is really important because it helps your kids build social skills.
She also notes the benefits of being in a classroom environment from a young age.
They get the feeling for what school is like before they go into elementary school.
Amy Weibel, Sinclair's Child Development and Disabilities Coordinator, says the new school will focus on a broad range of childhood development.
We're focusing on the health needs of the child. We're looking at preventative mental health services. We're in the homes connecting with families. We're making sure children have their health screenings.
Jonathan Klingeman, Director of Federal Services for State College Area Schools, says the district wants to go beyond the traditional classroom.
We're a community resource to be able to help new families in the community and provide supports for families.
Support for families at a time when so many need a little extra help. In State College, I'm Mike Kopp for the Center County Report.
Opening the preschool has been months in the making, but it's now on track to open October 25th thanks to a state grant.
More school news now. After a decade of serving as State College Area School District, Superintendent Bob O'Donnell has a new contract. The school board has approved a renewal for O'Donnell for 5 more years. The new deal runs through June 2026. O'Donnell has hired in 2011 to lead the district that now has 7,000 students and 400 employees.
State College police have arrested a man they say brutally raped and beat a Penn State student in 1995. Scott Williams from Reedsville is charged with 8 counts of rape and aggravated assault. Police say DNA connected him to the crime. It's been 26 years since the woman was found in the middle of the road, covered in blood, with a fractured face, jaw, and skull.
Big changes may be coming to a dangerous and busy Bellefonte intersection. Angelica Singer has the story.
A string of crashes, including a deadly one, has Bellefonte considering safety improvements at the intersection of Allegheny and High Streets. 2 possible solutions: narrowing the road to cut down on pedestrian cross space or creating a roundabout at the Diamond.
It slows traffic, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the best option.
Both options would take away parking. A roundabout would change both traffic and crosswalk patterns, which Assistant Borough Manager Don Holderman says will cost around $1.2 million, compared to $400,000 for the other option.
Despite there being many business owners who are not in favor of the roundabout, many declined to comment on camera, but they all seem to share at least one concern: the concern that it will take away more public parking.
If we're taking away their parking, which is difficult already, they're not going to want to come.
Owner of Brothers Pizza, Holly Maldonado, is worried how the new options, especially the roundabout, would affect her business.
But all of my customers come in and complain about it, so they are aware of it, and I have not had a single one think that this is a good idea.
These temporary parking delineators were installed a few weeks ago right in front of the pizza shop, blocking parking spaces. If implemented, both options will continue to block those spaces.
I think it's going to make it very difficult for people to come downtown and shop. And that's what we're trying to do, bring people into downtown to shop and eat.
In Bellefonte, I'm Angelica Singer for the Center County Report.
Residents can voice their opinion on the 2 options at public hearings on November 4th and 6th.
A new grocery store is on its way to State College. Aldi plans to open its first Center County location. It's on North Atherton Street across from Sheetz. This will be the first building at the Patton Crossing development on the site of the former Penn State Mobile Home Park site. The location is set to open October 28th. There are also plans for a second store at the corner of Benner Pike and Shiloh Road in College Township.
Penn State scientists are studying a corn disease that could soon reach local farms and cause massive losses in crops and quality. The tar spot disease is a fungal leaf disease first discovered in Pennsylvania 2 summers ago in a Lancaster County cornfield. It causes black raised spots on leaves and spreads through wind, rain, or contaminated seeds. While not yet seen in Center County, scientists have confirmed reports of tar spot in surrounding counties and are investigating how to reduce spread. Growers are suspected the disease is their fields should contact the Penn State College of Agricultural Sciences. Food insecurity and hunger are the focus of a Penn State student's effort to address the issues in State College. Gabriella Hornak has the story.
Tomatoes, peppers, beans, and greens. You'll find them all at Penn State's newest pocket garden. But aside from adding a little color to campus, the garden looks to tackle the sprouting issue of food insecurity at University Park. The Shriyer Pocket Garden is a 2-year pilot program that'll be built in a courtyard outside Simmons Hall, easily accessible to students, faculty, and staff. The idea started with Vancy Peacock, a second-year Shriyer scholar and green thumb enthusiast.
When I came to Penn State, I noticed that even though Penn State was an agricultural school, not that many students knew about growing food or where their food comes from.
But that idea quickly grew into a full-fledged effort to aid students struggling to afford food.
I wanted to create a garden that could not only provide fresh food to students, but also serve as a physical reminder that this is an issue that exists on campus.
Hunger and food insecurity affect many Pennsylvania residents, but the issue is often overlooked on college campuses.
A national survey by the Hope Center indicates that nearly 41% of students at 4-year institutions struggle with food insecurity. But luckily, initiatives like the Shriyer Pocket Garden hope to mitigate student hunger, one fruit and veggie at a time.
Once the garden is complete, open garden hours will be offered weekly throughout the growing season. Participants will be able to join in on daily tasks and learn about local agriculture. The produce grown by volunteers will then be donated to the Lions Pantry.
We just aim to help students who can't help themselves, because at Penn State we're all about helping as much as we can.
Volunteers will soon see firsthand efforts students like Peacock are taking to mitigate food insecurity. In State College, I'm Gabriella Hornack for the Center County Report.
More information about volunteering in the Shriyer Pocket Garden will be posted on the Student Farms website. Still to come on the Center County Report, Kevin has a 7-day forecast. Will the sun finally return soon?
And in sports, the highlight and reactions from the Nittany Lions' devastating loss to the Iowa Hawkeyes. Also coming up, the return of fall festivals has many small businesses brought back to life, like an Altoona business owner who made the trip to Clarion for a big event. The world's largest student-run philanthropy held one of its largest events of the year this week. Penn State's Thon hosted its annual 5K run on Sunday with hundreds of runners taking part in the event. Volunteers cheered as the runners crossed the finish line. This year's theme is Illuminate the Journey, and a portion of the runners' fees goes to fundraising to help fight childhood cancer. The event was not only running, but it also allowed people a chance to meet with Four Diamonds families, playing different games and more. Penn State's 46-hour dance marathon will be held in February.
The fall has brought more than just cooler weather back to the state, as fall festivals that were canceled in 2020 are back in full swing. Reporter Derek Hyde made the trip to Clarion to see one of the first to return.
Setup starts at 5 a.m.
Clarion's Autumn Leaf Festival. Just one of many local staples to return after a one-year hiatus during the COVID-19 pandemic. But among the fair rides, food lines, and masses of tourists in for the event, one business stands separate from the rest. A banner from Altoona in a sea of more than 200 Erie and Pittsburgh businesses. Shannon's Custom Creations was just one of the few to make the trek from central Pennsylvania.
A 2-hour drive, an overnight stay, and a 6 a.m. wake-up, all to sell your art pieces. Now what exactly are they? They are these cross-shaped picture frames and these centerpieces, a 2-hour drive just to sell your products to the people of Clarion.
Business owner Shannon Dean has driven all over to sell her picture frames at various arts and craft shows, and Clarion was just the next stop on a growing list of returning festivals.
I like to upcycle the picture frames, and what I do is I take out all the glass in the picture, and then I use different kinds of fabrics to make a cross out of it, and then I put the focal point in the middle, so that makes it the fabric-themed crosses.
Dean's business had a constant flow of customers admiring and purchasing her works. Store customer and Lewistown resident Brooke Carlson made the long trip and was just happy to be back in town for the festivities.
Last year, unfortunately, due to COVID, we didn't have it. But this year, it seems to be getting busier and busier.
The return of full-scale in-person events like the Autumn Leaf Festival have and will continue to provide support and opportunities to the small businesses and crafters like Dean that were out of the public eye for the past year. Reporting from Clarion, I'm Derek Hyde with the Center County Report.
State College will host a similar but smaller festival at the University Wine Company for their first annual Artisans and Crafters Fall event on Saturday.
Vibrant colors in Pennsylvania's fall foliage are delayed due to unusual warm October weather. The warm, wet summer put the trees on track for intense colors, but cool and dry conditions are needed for that to happen. Cool temperatures would stop the production of chlorophyll and bring out red and orange colors. The wet summer has also led to an increase in leaf spotting fungus, which will add to the delay.
And good afternoon, I'm student meteorologist Kevin Appleby with a check of your Tuesday afternoon forecast. How many days is it now that the time lapse here in central Pennsylvania has looked like this? Just a thick cloud deck thanks to the easterly flow that we've been stuck with for over a week now. That's kept temperatures above average, especially those overnight lows. Currently, we got 63 degrees with cloudy skies, dew point at 57. Thanks to that east flow, it's bringing a lot of moisture into our air right now. Light south wind at 6 miles an hour as well. Temperatures in central Pennsylvania, middle 60s is the game right now. And as we look out west, you can see where they've had more sunshine. Temperatures now in the 70s. A few spots will flirt with 80 this afternoon across the western portion of the state. Across the eastern portion of the state, middle 60s thanks to the clouds as well. If we take a look at satellite and radar, you can see two things. One is the thinning cloud deck towards the north on the eastern 2/3 of the state. And as we look out west, again, where they've had more sun today, you can see this boundary setting up right over Franklin and Pittsburgh. That could fire off a shower or two as we head into the afternoon, but those showers will have a tough time making it east of the Allegheny front. As we expand things out towards the rest of the country, you could see some snow in the Rocky Mountains. Some places out there could see over a foot of snow in the higher elevations. This will push northward as we continue on to the next several days. Some clouds here in western Mexico. That'll be part of our next weather maker, as that is the remnants of Pamela. The sun returns, looking ahead for the next week, the sun returns finally. It's been away for so long. We've got some patchy morning fog due to these high dew points that are here across Pennsylvania, but big changes on the way as we head into next week. So we'll time it out real quick for you. You could see as we get more of a southwesterly influence, we'll see more sunshine, higher temperatures, and ahead of the rain that'll be here for the weekend. This is the remnants of Pamela. It'll bring lots of rain on Saturday. Behind it, northwesterly flow takes shape, much cooler conditions, closer to average as we start next week. So for today, here in State College, we've got a high temperature of 71 degrees. Plenty of clouds. I think we'll see some peaks of sunshine later, but generally cloudy, continued warmth as well. And as we go into tonight, we've got a low temperature of 59 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. However, with light winds, calm winds that is, very opportunistic for fog to form. And as we start tomorrow, that fog will linger for a little while, but then we'll see some afternoon sunshine. Temperatures will rise a lot to 73 degrees with a light wind southwest at 5 miles an hour. As we take a look at the 7-day forecast, as we continue on into the week, we'll see more sunshine, temperatures well above average, 15 to 20 degrees above average, approaching 80 by Friday. We'll see the cold front move through for Saturday, and then by the time we get into next week, much more close to what we think of fall.
Well, that sounds like good news to me, Kevin. I can't wait to wear my fall sweaters.
Me neither. It's been too long.
And now to Jordan with sports.
Thanks, guys. Next in sports, Penn State football lost its first game of the season at Iowa, and the health of quarterback Sean Clifford is unknown. We have the highlights from the game and reaction. Also coming up, Penn State women's volleyball hosted number 10 Nebraska at Rec Hall. We have the highlights after the break. I'm Jordan Mansberger with sports. The big question for Penn State football this week is quarterback Sean Clifford okay, or is he done for the season? The Nittany Lions dropped to number 7 in the new AP poll after losing a heartbreaker in Iowa on Saturday. Reporter Mike Haupt has the highlights.
Penn State's 9-game winning streak came to a heartbreaking end on the road at Iowa. The game started out well for the Nittany Lions, with Noah Cain punching in the game's first touchdown and taking a 7-3 lead. The Lions scored another touchdown on the ground, this time from quarterback Sean Clifford. But in the second quarter, a hard hit knocked Clifford out for the rest of the game, which drastically shifted the momentum in the Hawkeyes' favor. Iowa then scored on a pass from Spencer Petras to former walk-on Charlie Jones, cutting the lead to 17-10 going into the half. While Penn State's defense was phenomenal, the offense struggled with backup quarterback Taquan Roberson in the game, and the defense couldn't stop a long touchdown from Petras to junior wideout Nico Reganey, which made the difference in the 23-20 final. A late interception from Roberson sealed the loss as Iowa fans rushed the field when the clock hit double zeros. Roberson talked about the support from his teammates.
We're a family, so no matter what, everyone has each other back. They have my back.
I am outside Beaver Stadium, where Penn State will have a bye week before taking on 2-5 Illinois.
Kickoff for that Illinois game is noon, and you'll be able to listen live on Penn State Comm Radio. To high school football now, 5-1 Bald Eagle Area High School hosted 2-4 Phillipsburg Osceola Friday night in our game of the week. Reporter Kelly Warner was there, and she has more.
After a dismal 2020 season full of COVID issues, injuries, and bad luck, Bald Eagle is soaring again.
Bald Eagle dominated Phillipsburg Osceola 49-0 to improve to 6-1. They also recorded their 4th shutout, the most in one season in school history.
The Eagles opened their season with a shutout over Troy, and their only loss was also a shutout, a 21-0 loss to Clearfield. COVID is still rearing its ugly head, leaving the team without their band one week and without their cheerleaders this week, and causing players to miss practices. But that hasn't held the Eagles back. A key to their success was the decision to move former quarterback senior Garrett Burns to running back in favor of freshman Carson Nagle. The star of this game, though, had to be freshman Cameron Watkins, who scored 2 of the Eagles' 7 touchdowns. The freshman was just glad to do what he could to help his team.
I mean, it feels great. I mean, I love going, and I mean, we just did a great job tonight.
Head coach Jesse Nagel tries to remind his players to take it one game at a time. And besides wins, he focuses on seeing growth each week.
You know, I think, honestly, it was the first complete game I thought we played all year. You know, I thought we were playing defense great one game. You know, offensively, we were kind of searching the last couple of weeks. But I think, you know, honestly, we finally, as a coaching staff, said, okay, we're going to take what they give us.
The Eagles currently sit at second in the Mountain League behind undefeated Clarion.
You can watch highlights and post-game reaction from Friday's high school games on our football show After the Whistle. Penn State men's soccer looked to stay undefeated in Big Ten play when they took on Michigan over the weekend. Let's take a look at the highlights. The student section Park Avenue Army was fired up all game despite a scoreless first half. We take you to the 49th minute as Penn State junior Andrew Privet scores his 5th goal of the season off a crisp pass from teammate Daniel Bloyu to put the Nittany Lions up first. Later in the 58th minute, Michigan's Mark Ibarra converts on a PK to tie the game after Penn State's Tiger Evans was called for a penalty in the box. After a red card was assessed to the Wolverines' Derek Broshi in the 69th minute, Penn State would score just a minute later on a Michigan-owned goal as Jalen Watson's cross hits Wolverine defenders as Penn State held on 2-1. Goalkeeper Chris Shakes finished with 3 saves as the Nittany Lions improved to 8-3-1 with their 3rd straight win. Penn State will head to Ohio to face Akron tomorrow. Last Friday night, number 13 Penn State hosted number 10 Nebraska at Rec Hall, where they fell in 4 sets. Nebraska took command from the jump and won set 1 25-16. Head coach Russ Rose went to his bench early, which then led to a Nittany Lions second set win 25-22. The two went back and forth in set 3, but Nebraska came out on top, winning 25-23. The Lions started off the 4th set hot, but a 6-0 Nebraska run was the final push they needed, winning 25-17.
I thought that the fact that I had to take 2 or 3 starters out because they weren't ready to play and weren't playing at a high enough level was a reflection of, you know, some of the things that I see in practice.
Coach Russ Rose said the one shining light was freshman outside hitter Angelina Stark. Stark had 8 kills in the match, complimenting Johnny Parker and the middle blocker Caitlin Horde, who both had 11 kills. Penn State turned around and played Northwestern on Saturday and won 3-1. The Lions will welcome Rutgers to Rec Hall Friday night. That's all for sports. Now back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Jordan. Coming up next, get ready for some fall fun. Back to the pumpkin patches for the fall, coming up after the break.
With Halloween getting closer, families here in Center County are eager to get into the fall spirit. Reporter Jordan Mansberger checked out some local farms as fall festival season kicks off.
Spooky season is here again in Happy Valley, and that means people are heading to the pumpkin patch to enjoy events at local farms. Chris Harner from Harner Farm and State College says this is their busiest time of the year, but he says it hasn't been quite as crazy as last fall.
Especially last year with the pandemic, you know, nothing was going on. You couldn't go to the football game, so we had a lot more students last year than we've seen this year.
Here at Harner Farm, visitors can do almost any fall activity they want, including buy pumpkins, which are great for jack-o'-lanterns. Way Fruit Farm in Port Matilda has fall festival weekends every Friday and Saturday in October. They offer wagon rides, apple picking, and other activities that bring people from all over Central PA and beyond.
We literally have everybody. You know, what we try to do is be a very well-rounded business. At any given time, I may have 3 or 4 different languages being spoken here.
And it's not just for the kids. From toddlers to grandparents, visitors enjoy this time of year.
So far, we just looked at the pumpkins, went inside and checked out the grocery store, saw the twist and the corn maze in there, and we'd like to ride the tractor tram if we get a chance.
This is the first thing that we've done. We kind of woke up, had breakfast, and then came over here.
Yeah, then wanted to come pick some apples.
Wasson Farm and State College also celebrated its Fall Fest this past week, which included tasty food, pumpkins, and seeing the animals. They go all out for their Fall Fest every year and offer fun activities for the kids. In State College, I'm Jordan Mansberger for the Center County Report.
Also, the popular Pumpkin Festival at Penn State's Arboretum happens this Friday and Saturday.
That's all for today's newscast. We hope that you'll join us on Friday for our next local news update.
You can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report Twitter, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page and our website. Have a good afternoon.
We hope you enjoyed watching the video. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you did.
For the rest of our newscasts and featured stories, click here.
And for sports, click here. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.